Folks, we are on episode 2 of Fourth and Forever. Yesterday, I'm sure you remembered that I completely stumbled. I thought that it was still BetUS TV's The Huddle. But as many of you know, BetUS TV's The Huddle is on an off-season hiatus, and we figured we still got to give you the NFL breaking news. I'm seeing a lot of Richie's squad in the chat right now. I think I know exactly why they are here. One of the biggest stories of today. Welcome to another edition of Fourth and Forever. Please do us a favor, smash that like button, and also join our membership program. It is 99 cents a month. This week and this week only is where the chat is open to everybody. Starting next week, it is only going to be open to members, and it's only 99 cents a month, folks. So go on ahead and get your membership right now so you don't miss out on the damn live chat community. Richie, talk to me. How's life?
Life is great. Welcome to episode number 2 of Fourth and Forever, your off-season show covering all things NFL. Happy trade deadline day. Okay, we got, did I say trade deadline? I meant franchise tag.
Tag deadline, baby.
Franchise tag deadline day. We got some breaking news with the New York Jets today. Woo! We got a lot to get into. Smash that like button, folks. Subscribe here to Roundtable Sports Network. We're so close to getting 20,000 subscribers. And salute to all my Jets fans that follow me over to this channel. We appreciate you guys. We'll be live every single Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. right here on Roundtable Sports.
Oh, my God. TD Finstock, how you doing? How you doing, man?
I'm actually doing great. The Jets are terrible again. So it's a beautiful day. Listen, I can't wait to talk about all these moves out here, making all these guys coming available and everything going on right here on Fourth and Forever. Y'all hit that like button. Listen, this morning we had a member join. Now New York Jets Indy is the newest member to the channel. Salute to you, brother. I don't
Thank
like
you.
to see a Jets fan, but it's all good.
He's great, man. He's great.
My God. For them forever, let's go. And let's go on ahead and let's talk about the biggest topic. It just broke a couple of minutes ago. But is it really news? I feel like this was always going to happen. I feel like as a GM, I was not going to sit around and wait or send over valuable trade compensation for a guy I knew that the New York Jets were planning on moving away from in the first place. But today, folks, it is now official. The New York Jets have officially released Davante Adams, and he is now a pending free agent. And I'm very interested to see where he lands, what teams are going to be in the conversation. Richie, talk to me. What do you got?
Yeah, this is definitely some interesting news that broke. Listen, there was news that broke the other day that the Jets are looking to trade Davante Adams. Yeah, nice try. They're not trading Davante Adams. He's not going anywhere in terms of a trade. He was going to get released. I said it yesterday. It was just a matter of time of when the Jets are going to be able to release him. It would have been very complicated for the Jets to figure out a trade partner for a lot of different reasons, which is why you look at, the report. The Jets are saving $29.9 million of cap space with this move. So it's unfortunate when you look at it from the perspective that it failed. I mean, the Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, the whole thing failed. Just be honest with yourself here. So that's upsetting. But at the end of the day, I think it's an exciting time for us, Jets fans to come together, rip the Band-Aid off, and be excited for what's coming next. So $30 million. Now the Jets got like $52 million to work with around for the free agency. And next, we also got news that Allen Lazard is now being given the opportunity to go seek a trade partner. Guess what? He's not going to be traded. He's going to be released as well. So a lot of exciting things and new things happening with the Jets.
Oh, man. TD, thoughts on this? As I could say, this is really not much of a surprise in my eyes.
It's a surprise to me. I mean,
it's a
you
surprise
couldn't get
to you that he was released?
Yeah, you
How?
couldn't get a 7th round pick. Like, what's up with that? Like, nothing?
It's so complicated, TD. It's not just that simple. The other team has to take on the money. Davante Adams has to agree to a restructure. Davante wants to go to the team of his choice. It's more complicated than you think here.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I guess, he's not going to sign with anyone for a few years that he doesn't want to go to, and nobody probably want to deal with all that drama trying to figure that out. So they release him. Here's what I'll say. This is bigger than that because I don't know if we have Allen Lazard as a topic.
We're going to transition over to that bad boy after this.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes hand in hand for me because what are y'all doing?
Alan Lazard's
Y'all are like cleaning house. So no. I mean, I know what you're doing, but it tells us, like, man, what are they doing? Are they cleaning house? Looks like it. So they're getting rid of everybody that isn't going to be a part of the future. And the new coach of GM ain't playing, man. This is why the Jets are going to have an interesting offseason. I'm telling you, I can see some of the other big names getting moved. Brees obviously going to be the highest paid corner he's projected. I believe they're going to keep him. Not Brees, but Sauce. But Brees might be gone next. But the Jets are just cleaning house, man. And it looks like they want to build this the way that they want to build it. And I got to be honest with you, this is just showing that they're getting rid of the entire Aaron Rodgers regime. Davante Adams, Alan Lazard.
This may be shocking to every single person that's not a Jets fan. Every Jets fan knew this was coming. Lazard gone, Adams gone. You look at the contracts of Alan Lazard and Davante Adams, those are the two contracts you can get out of very easily and save money. And that's number one. Number two, Alan Lazard is a net negative. The man had no positive impact on this team at all. I mean, he leads the NFL in drops, penalties. He's just not a good football player.
One game.
Yeah,
one game.
One game. So this isn't new. This isn't like shocking news to any Jets fans whatsoever.
Someone asked, can they get a compensatory pick for Adams? I don't think so. He's not hitting free agency as a contract expiring. He's actually being cut.
DJ
so there
Reed
is no
leaves, and yes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like if your contract is up and you're an unrestricted free agent and you're losing that guy and you don't re-sign him, then you're eligible for a compensatory pick. This is just a straight up cut. You don't get comps for that.
Now, from what I understand, because landing spots is going to be a part of the conversation here, I think it was Ian Rappaport or perhaps with Schefter. It sounds like for some odd reason that he still wants to be linked with Aaron Rodgers. So first off, we'll see if Aaron Rodgers will play next year for what team. But if that does not happen, then I guess he really wants to be on the West Coast because I guess he has real estate investments out there. His family is out there. So I think that really sort of ties down the potential spots of where he could go. Me personally, I really like how he could potentially fit with the LA Chargers. I think he's a Harbaugh guy. I think that it would be an automatic upgrade for that overall offense, him and Ladd McConkey. And so I also think that the 49ers should also be a part of the conversation here, right? Like we're looking at his contract. It's like $13.3 million. That's his market value according to Spot Track and a 2-year deal. So whatever team ends up getting him, they're going to be getting quality production even at his age. I'm just curious to see where you guys think that he's ultimately going to end up landing. TD, what do you got? Where do you see Adams landing in 2025?
The Miami Dolphins.
Oh,
taking a nice team-friendly deal.
Damn.
There's several. I'm gonna be honest. There's several options. You know, I would love him for him to be in Miami. And it is a fit. Whether we want to acknowledge it or not, it's just a matter of how much it's gonna cost. But I would not be surprised if Miami, took a swing at an opportunity because the one thing that we're missing on the roster is a big body receiver, a guy who can go up and contested catches and get it, the guy that you throw it to in the red zone. We don't have that. That is actually the missing weapon. Dolphin fans all around the world fight about we need to improve the run game, improve the O-line. All of this may be true, but the real key to what you're missing is that big body receiver. That's why Jonah was so special this year, but that was at the tight end position. Miami needs that in the receiver position. But also, he could be going back home to Green Bay. I like him going back to Green Bay with Jordan Love. That would be a nice option. And I think that he could work wonders in Green Bay, and they might have the capital to potentially bring him in. If you want to add on top of that, you look at, and I said this the other day, don't sleep on the Commanders just because they just got Debo.
They got the money.
They're going to try to go all out to try to get over the hump. This is what it's about. But I can see him going to an actual contender, though. It has to be a team that at a minimum are around the 10 wins and just trying to get over the hump. That's what I believe. But let me say one thing before I push this to Richie. this is what I don't like about the Aaron Rodgers deal. Like, you know how okay, if we're gonna be fair, we've learned that Aaron Rodgers is not as toxic as people made him out to be. Still toxic, but he's not as toxic. Okay, that's what we learned with the
Slightly
Jets, and Richie helped us see that a little more. But this is the problem: this notion that Adams still wants to go wherever Rodgers go. Do you want to? I believe it, and you want to know why? I think that is because wherever Rodgers go, it's probably a team that don't have a quarterback that's going to need one, which means they aren't a good team, and they're going to have a lot of money, and Adams is going to get paid just to bring the combination together. So I don't think that's for the right reason, and I think that's why he's linked to Aaron Rodgers because wherever he goes, I believe it's going to be a team with good money and. They're going to have an opportunity to bring those two in and everybody's going to want it. So I don't like that. Go be on your own, Davante Adams, like you were with the Raiders, but go to a contending team. Let's be honest. There's a lot of teams going to want Davante Adams. See, people think that he's just a throwaway now. He's still at the top of his game. He just played for the Jets. So don't forget that.
He just played for the Jets. And shout out to Mike D's Nuts for becoming a member of the Roundtable Sports family. Mike D's Nuts, you have just gained yourself some of the best emojis in the game. We are working on a Bob emoji as well, which was requested during the first episode of Fourth and Forever. Did want to go on ahead, and we do want to remind everybody, we thank you, all of our members. We have Mike D's Nuts. We have NY Jets Indy. LaSalle. We have Joshua Richardson as well, who is a new member. Guys, the membership program is only 99 cents a month, and starting next week, the chat is exclusively going to be for members only. So if you want to be a regular attendee of our live chat moving forward, highly recommend you join our membership program. We appreciate you for that. Richie, where do you think Davante Adams is going to land? Talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options. You see the report from Ian Rappaport, right? He says, with the assumption has been that Davante Adams wants to play with Aaron Rodgers, and historically that's been the plan. My understanding is the pull of being on the West Coast is very real. So I could see the Rams if Cooper Kupp moves away. I can see the Niners. I could see something on the West Coast. I mean, what other team out there is trying to win that it needs a wide receiver? I don't know if he's 100% going to reunite with Aaron Rodgers. I know there was a big rumblings about him going to the Rams with Aaron Rodgers, but now the Rams are keeping Matthew Stafford. There's some rumblings about the Giants' interest. I don't see Davante wanting to go from the Jets to the Giants. It seems like he wants to go to the West Coast. I don't know. I mean, the Chargers, I guess, are another team as well, for sure. You know, I think that could be the most likely destination because they need a receiver next to Ladd McConkey desperately. I mean, Ladd is a beast, but Davante would add another weapon. They have a team that's ready to win now. So maybe the Chargers are the team that is going to land Davante Adams.
The Chargers to land Davante Adams. I really like that landing spot. Man, if only we could put some cash down on something to predict. But you know what, guys? We are going to be understanding all of that next week, March 10th, when the legal tampering period does begin. And we're going to be super excited because I guarantee you, knowing us, we're going to have like 7 pieces of breaking news happen the second that this show goes live. Look at that. 143 of you are on YouTube rocking with us right now. 129 of you are on X. We asked you to smash that like button for us, guys. We want at least 250 like buttons smashed once this video is all said and done, including replays. So we appreciate all of you for tuning in. As we transition over to the next topic, it sounds like that Richie's boy Sam Darnold is not going to be getting the franchise tag from the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are planning, murmurs across the NFL stratosphere, is that Sam Darnold perhaps could be getting a long-term deal from the Minnesota Vikings, but all in all, they are not electing to franchise tag this young quarterback. Richie, further thoughts on this? Was this a mistake? Should they have went with the tag, or is the long-term deal a better option?
Yeah, the tag is an interesting one at the quarterback position. That's a fully guaranteed 1-year deal. That's all against the cap. So I can see why they're not going this direction. From that perspective, they're still open to keeping him, which is something interesting. But I don't know. Maybe Minnesota, this is the most intriguing quarterback conversation I think there is this offseason.
Absolutely.
We were talking about it even in the middle of the season, what they're going to do about it. And if KOC thinks that he can build this team and win with J.J. McCarthy, then he may really do it, man. I don't know. That's going to be crazy to see if he actually does that. Because you look at what the Minnesota Vikings were able to pull off last year, that was flawless. It really was, all the way until the highest pressured moments. And if KOC feels like J.J. McCarthy can do what Sam Darnold did, if not better, then they may roll with him, and then Sam's going to hit the open market. So I did not really expect them to franchise tag him just because you looked at the number, what is it, like $40 million or something like that. And usually when you sign a quarterback to a long-term deal, the cap hit's not $40 million in year one. It's like 15 and then 20 and then 25. Like a $40 million cap hit is a lucrative number. So they're still going to work on a deal, and perhaps they will get one, but maybe Sam's not coming back to Minnesota. Maybe he's going elsewhere, man. Maybe he's going elsewhere. Sammy D, where you going, Sam? Rooting for you, buddy.
Thoughts, TD? So are the Minnesota Vikings going to retain Sam Darnold, or is this a sign that they are allowing him to hit free agency and they're just rolling with J.J. McCarthy in 2025?
Listen, they're going to let him hit free agency. You don't pay Sam Darnold. I continue to tell y'all this. And this is right. You do not franchise tag this man. At the end of the day, he's had 1 year in a great system with great weapons, a great running game, and a great coach. Don't get fooled. Don't get Geno Smith out here. You know, don't end up like these guys who have one successful season, then you pay him all this money thinking that he has what it takes to get you over the hump. Let's not forget why the Minnesota Vikings stalled out. Aaron Glenn put a number on Sam, and Sam went back to seeing ghosts. So he's not built for the big moment, but it showed you he can help you get to the playoffs. He can help you, in the regular season when the pressure isn't on. But guess what? In every pressure situation this year, Sam folded. So there you have it. Smart move by the Vikings. Put this on KOC. Let him do what he needs to do at the quarterback position and bet on him again. I like it. But hey, he's going to find a team. And they're going to pay him. They're going to pay him significant money, and good for them and good for him. But Minnesota's smart for this.
Well, funny enough, folks, we have some breaking news that just crossed my desk. Saquon Barkley, the Philadelphia Eagles have just rewarded him with a 2-year contract extension per Adam Schefter. $41.2 million in total. $20 million per year running back. The first one, he just ended up surpassing Christian McCaffrey for the highest paid running back, average annual value in the league.
$36 million guaranteed?
$15 million in incentives, and as TD just said, $36 million fully guaranteed. Maybe the running back position is back, ladies and gents. Saquon Barkley inks a deal. It's actually hysterical because I feel like when I was discussing this James Cook extension amongst Bills fans, everyone was just like, oh, dude, there's no way that we could pay him more than Saquon Barkley. And I would say continuously, I would be like, look, bro, like, don't think that Saquon, his deal prior to this massive extension was anywhere near what he was truly worth. But needless to say, Saquon, man, $41.2 million contract extension, whopping $36 million fully guaranteed at signing. The Philadelphia Eagles are remaining dangerous. Anybody like to add any additional thoughts there?
Well-deserved. Congratulations to Saquon Barkley, one of the best human beings in the league. And, he was grossly underpaid, right? Grossly underpaid. And I feel like this is something where you look at when you are going into a team and taking a team-friendly deal and you go help win a Super Bowl, you're going to get taken care of. So the Eagles extending Saquon makes so much sense in the world. They just released so many players, the Eagles. Darius Slay, Bradbury. So you can see what they're trying to do here is, add some cap space to keep their guy Saquon Barkley happy because they didn't have to do this. They could have just went into this next season with the same contract they had to offer. And I feel like right now this is going to reset the market a little bit now for the rest of the league when it comes to the running back position. And I want to ask you guys in the chat, do you guys feel like this was worth the extension? And he's now, what, the highest paid running back? Sure.
Yeah, man. Look, say, for example, that they wanted to reward a previous season. I think that this was, like, all due and well worth it for the running back. Congratulations. I hope that he can have 2 seasons in a row where he has a relatively healthy season. Prior to this Philadelphia Eagles campaign, he was largely known as an injury-prone running back. So as long as he can stay healthy, I think this is absolutely perfect. Hopefully he doesn't take the exact same path as Christian McCaffrey after getting the bag and then ultimately end up sitting out for the vast majority of the season, knock on wood. But I think as far as a production standpoint, in year one, I am certainly happy for the running back.
Listen, this is beautiful, like you all said. Saquon did everything right. You know, he wasn't a diva. He wasn't a complainer. They, put him in a position where he couldn't go after the record. He put team over self. He sacrificed. It was always about the bigger picture. And he was a model teammate, a model player in the NFL, and they're rewarding him for that. Obvious leader. This is beautiful. I love it. But I don't think the running back market is back because of this. I think the running back market has gotten to a point where you're either superior or you're another guy. And you're not going to see contracts between.
Who are you?
You're going to see the Saquons, Christian McCaffreys, guys like that. And then the rest of the guys down here, some of them at the top of down here, but that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get the 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 million a year guys. You're going to get all the other guys.
It's either a superior guy or a guy.
Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey. Derrick Henry's market just went up, if you really think about it. And I got to look at that Ravens deal for when he's eligible again. But yeah, it's something interesting. I just don't see the middle for the running back market going up. You're either one of those guys or you're not. A game changer or another good back.
And shout out to Cameron for putting that lower third together in literal seconds. Or was that you, Richie? Let us know.
Oh, me and Cameron are. This is. You have no idea what we're brewing behind the scenes, Dan.
Wow, man. Listen, now all we need is somebody to be editing during our live stream to release a short based off of after some of these hot ass.
We need a clip of that exact segment already uploaded on X.
Absolutely, 110%.
All right,
is what
Email
it is.
Roundtable Sports Network. We're hiring.
Yeah, we are hiring. All right, and we will pay you off of handshakes and compliments.
Hold on, back up. Did our graphics guy just get this in that quick?
He did.
Yeah,
jeez,
he did. Man, he is,
I honestly didn't even know what happened.
Good. A lot of behind the scenes work.
He texted me the lower thirds to break me the news. I was like, wait, what? Saquon got extended?
It is absolutely insane. Shout out Cameron. I'm not sure if you're watching right now, but you are obviously indeed the man. Thank you so much, man. We sincerely appreciate that. 153 of you currently watching on YouTube, 172 of you on X. We ask you guys to smash that like button for us. And for those of you watching on X, please do us a favor and retweet this episode for us. Retweet this out so we can continue to grow the Fourth and Forever brand. We sincerely think that we can make this show a damn hit. Anyway, I did want to transition back over to the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold, maybe he goes, maybe he doesn't. But I have a thought. And I think that we touched on this a little bit a couple of weeks ago, maybe even a couple of months ago. If, for example, they do bring back Sam Darnold for a long-term deal, which it's going to be one or the other, could you see a world where Minnesota just says, you know what? We're trading J.J. McCarthy. I think that he would be worth quite a bit of draft compensation for a team that is absolutely desperate. Like, for example, I think the New York Giants would bite on that immediately. Because rather than them going into the draft this year, they can go with a prospect who is sat behind in the Kevin O'Connell system. I think Brian Dable really liked the guy. I think the Giants were actually targeting him right up until that they ended up going with Neighbors instead. Or whether or not that it's any other quarterback needy team, would there be a world where they would ultimately end up trading J.J. McCarthy if Sam Darnold ultimately gets a long-term deal? Richie, what do you got on this?
No, I think it's the opposite. It's if they keep Sam Darnold, they're keeping JJ for the long run still. I really don't think that trading JJ McCarthy is even a thought process from Minnesota. They want JJ to be the future, and the question is Sam Darnold willing? Do they want Sam to stay here for a year or two to help JJ still go? That's my perspective of it. I think they invested a first-round pick in him. They don't feel like Sam is their franchise guy, unless we turn around all of a sudden like, oh, Sam Darnold just got Trevor Lawrence type of money, and he's like now their franchise quarterback or something like crazy like that. But as of right now, if I had to predict, I do not see them trading J.J. McCarthy no matter what. I think, and they would be stupid to do that. You have a very good situation here. You have 2 great quarterbacks on your team. Keep them both. That's how I look at it. Keep them both. Why trade one?
Oh my God. What about you, TD? As Chris Olsen comes in, we have a Vikings fan in here. Shout out to the Vikings fans in here. Dan, we will never trade JJ and his cheap contract. Intriguing. Thank you so much for the donation, my guy. TD, what do you got on this? Would the Vikings trade JJ McCarthy if they find a deal for Sam Darnold?
Chris Olsen told you straight to your face, Dan. They will never trade JJ in his cheap contract. I'm going to go back to what Justin Jefferson said recently. These are his exact words. JJ was looking real good before he got hurt. Your star receiver out of his mouth. JJ was looking real good before he got hurt. Enough said. You already know you got something. And on a cheap deal, why am I going to go pay Sam Darnold $40-50 million? Why? Why would I do that? Now, Richie's right. You could do both, technically. But is that the best use of your money right now? I don't think so. And by the way, I'm putting all of this on KOC, Kevin O'Connell, okay? If you could do that with Sam Darnold, show the world how great of a coach you are and do it with Daniel Jones. I mean, and if he does, that's all you need to know. His coaching stock rises so much, like of his abilities. And listen, the Vikings are doing the right thing. I would not continue with Sam Darnold, but here's the deal. I think the element that we're missing here is the fact that Sam Darnold would be eligible for a 4-year contract out here, or maybe worth about $160 million. The Daniel Jones deal, the $40 million a year. The Vikings aren't committing 4 years to no Sam Darnold when they got JJ McCarthy going to be ready in a year. So is Sam Darnold willing to take a 2-year deal? If he is, we're in business. Let's talk about both of this. But he's eligible for a 4-year deal out there waiting on him potentially. And if the market dries up and he can't get it, that's a different story. But I believe that he's going to get a 4-year, $160 million deal, guaranteeing about 2 years worth, about $80 million. And the Vikings aren't trying to commit that level of resources when you got a first-round pick. So, no, they're not going to ever trade. They're not going to trade him at all. Now, if Sam would have won in the big moments, if Sam would have won that first playoff game, maybe show that he don't crack under the lights.
Yeah.
That would have been a whole different story because you know what you got. But Sam became Sam, the old Sam, in the big light. So there's a ceiling to it, and you reached it, and it's not enough.
His final 2 game stats were certainly concerning. I'm pretty sure his completion percentage was around like 52%. He looked like the Sam Darnold that saw ghosts back in his New York Jets days. So
why do you get it?
I know that I'm going to be monitoring that situation very closely. And TD actually brought up a topic I have been very excited to discuss on today's episode. It sounds like that if the Vikings don't retain Daniel Jones, which I do not believe that they will, the Colts are interested. Murmurs around the league are suggesting that Daniel Jones is a top target for the Indianapolis Colts to compete with Anthony Richardson. Now, I'm just going to go on ahead and I'm going to tell you guys this. Daniel Jones would beat out Mr. Anthony Richardson. In training camp, he would be named the starter. And I want you to look at this because, like, we're seeing TD shake his head, but you can't deny trends in the NFL. And for the past 3 years in a row, all right, we have seen a would-be bust become an actual competitive QB in this league. All right. 3 years ago was Geno Smith. They wrote him off. He didn't write back. Then it was Baker Mayfield, who revived his career for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led them to the playoffs, got himself a deal. Congratulations. And last year was Sam Darnold. Is Daniel Jones the guy that revives his career in 2025, because there's really only two candidates. There's Zach Wilson and Daniel Jones. I'm picking Daniel Jones. I look at Daniel Jones, right? And I look at his overall, I'd say, career and the situation that he was put in as a young QB. He never had a good offensive line. All right. He never had any quality weapons outside of Saquon Barkley, but he was obviously useless due to the piss poor offensive line, a rotation of different head coaches, and just an overall incompetent organization. Add Daniel Jones to the Indianapolis Colts. He automatically has the best offensive line he's ever had in his entire life. Shane Steichen is going to know how to use him because he is a more accurate QB than Anthony Richardson. He finally has weapons on the wide receiver core, good offensive line, solid run game, solid defense. Would Daniel Jones be a good fit for the Indianapolis Colts? Richie, is Daniel Jones next up? Talk to me.
No.
What do you mean?
Man, you sit here trying to like convince me or something.
I'm trying to convince that Daniel Jones is about to be the Sam Darnold of 2025.
Oh my God!
All right, let's ask the chat first because
listen. I could hop in a time machine and I could say the same thing about Sam Darnold, and everybody in the chat would be like, "Oh, Sam Darnold, yeah, right. They're gonna suck. He's gonna be bad. He's gonna see ghosts." All I'm saying is that you can't deny that for the past couple of years we've seen busts in the NFL,
of course, yes,
absolutely rise to the occasion.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Daniel Jones is just your poor's man version of Josh Allen. That's how I look at it. I mean,
yeah,
he can run, but he fumbles every other time, and you wonder when is the fumbling going to stop? And he never stops fumbling. It's either you know how to fix your turnovers or you don't. I feel like him being linked to the Indianapolis Colts just is such a Colt thing to do. Daniel Jones going to the Colts, like they're going to win 7-8 games, if that. Is he better than Anthony Richardson? Yeah, I'll say that. I think you can say that, but is that saying much? No, it's really not. It's not really saying much. So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this. I feel like the Indianapolis Colts fan base would not be on board. I mean, I don't know if there's any Colts fans in the chat. You let us know. The chat right now, I said, would Daniel Jones be a good fit with the Colts? So far, people are saying yes. 54% are saying yes.
Wow.
I mean, but what do we expect with that type of team with Daniel Jones? I mean, winning the AFC South, contending with other teams in the conference? I don't know.
Thoughts, TD? Is Daniel Jones next up?
Yeah, and no. I mean, to what end? Next up for what? To be a better mid player? Like you talked about Geno, you talked about Baker, you talked about Sam Darnold. What are they? The next up to be better mid? Like they're not beating Buffalo, they're not beating the Chiefs, they're not beating Baltimore, they're not beating the Eagles, they're not beating the Lions, at least last year's version. They're not going to beat none of these teams. They're not getting over any hump. Now, if you want to revive someone and be the next one to have a good season and fail when it matters most, then yeah. But gosh, what are we doing, NFL teams? Aren't we looking for somebody to help you win a Super Bowl? We were out here now arguing over which scrub gonna lead the organization to 9-10 wins and get bounced in the first and second round. Like, come on, man. Every team needs to be making moves that's going to help them win a Super Bowl. If you believe Anthony Richardson can still develop into that type of guy, you keep on with him. Otherwise, you don't have a quarterback. Now you need to go back into quarterback mode. You need to go back into quarterback mode. I mean, this is how organizations waste time. You're going to bring Daniel Jones in. What if he does beat out Anthony Richardson? What, is he the Super Bowl answer? No. If Anthony Richardson's a 6 out of 10, wow, Daniel Jones beat him out at a 6.5 out of 10. Like, we got to stop this mess, man. Teams need to really go after Super Bowls and stop wasting their fan base's time. Neither of these moves are that unless you still believe in Anthony Richardson. And if you don't, then you should be in this draft trying to move up for a real quarterback or taking Milroe, Jackson Dart, or Dylan Gabriel. That's simple.
Very interesting as far as the developments from the Indianapolis Colts and Daniel Jones. 407 of you are watching this episode right now. 170 of you are on YouTube. 237 of you are on X. If you are watching YouTube, we highly recommend that you smash that like button for us. Again, we want 250 like buttons smashed. If you are watching on X, folks, please, please, please retweet this stream because we want to continue to grow our community. We are live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. EST, bringing you all of the late-breaking NFL news. Please, please, please retweet this stream. We love you and we appreciate you. So I had a couple of topics lined up, but I wanted to save the ones that I was really excited to discuss today. And I think it has everything to do with the Dallas Cowboys and what the hell they're going to do about Mr. Micah Parsons, right? Because recently and earlier this morning/afternoon, we saw that the Dallas Cowboys ended up extending their defensive lineman, Osa, very good luck on pronouncing that one, to a 4-year contract, all right, worth $80 million, $56 million guaranteed. And he was largely a franchise tag candidate. And I look at the Dallas Cowboys overall cap space, and we're talking about 5 to 6 players that account for over 68% of their overall cap room. Right now, where Micah Parsons is lined up, he has about $24 million with his 5th-year sort of option. They said they are currently negotiating a long-term deal for this guy, but I look at the Dallas Cowboys' future cap, and one would assume that the smart decision would be to trade Micah Parsons this year so that they are not in a rock-bottom hellscape of a cap situation years down the road. So, with the move that they just made on their interior defensive lineman, who's a stud, by the way, should the Dallas Cowboys consider trading Micah Parsons so that they can at least put themselves in a better position to build a competitor? I'm talking to Richie on this one first. Should they consider trading Micah Parsons?
Odighizuwa! Congratulations.
That's it. Odighizuwa. That's it. Congratulations, Osa Odighizuwa. There you go. That's it, baby. Go ahead.
I love it, man. A 20 mil signing bonus. That's the money that gets into this guy's account right now. That 20 mil. Big time shout out to Oza. Listen, I'm not going to say how many times have we talked about, and also, did you mention the CD Lamb restructure?
I did not, no.
Yeah, CD Lamb got apparently his contract restructured, which is saving the Dallas Cowboys around. Let me make sure I got this right. Here is the news from Todd. The Cowboys have restructured the contract to Pro Bowl wide receiver CD Lamb. What? Breaking. Pew, pew, pew. So $20 million of cap space is being saved, which is important here, right? So I think, you add that. How many times have the Cowboys waited to the last second to extend their guys?
I feel like every
Parsons
season.
going nowhere, bro.
I feel like every season.
He's not going anywhere. Jerry realizes the Dallas Cowboys is a star-studded team, and they sell stars. Why would they trade Micah Parsons? You're not replacing Micah Parsons with no draft picks. They're going to pay him, and they're figuring out a way to do it. This move right here does not make me feel like they're not extending Micah Parsons.
But
That's what the question is.
But I think my question is, will it happen? It's not will it happen. It's should it happen.
Yeah.
Right? Like from like a financial standpoint, should Jerry Jones trade him? It's not will he, because
Trade him,
I know like
should he trade him?
He's not like, I would say Jerry Jones is not the prime example of financial responsibility and player personnel decisions. I think we can all agree that he's going to extend Micah Parsons to some deal that's going to screw them years down the road. My question is, should they?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I feel like with the cap space increasing every single year, I think it's giving them more wiggle room to be able to do it. Again, trading away Micah Parsons is going to give you some assets, but you're not going to be able to replace the talent of Micah Parsons. He's a very unique type of guy that can play on the ball, off the ball. He's just a star. He's a star, and I feel like the Dallas Cowboys do not have a star on their defense without Micah Parsons. They have a star on their offense in CeeDee Lamb. They got the franchise quarterback with Dak Prescott, and I do not think trading him would be smart if you're Dallas.
And so what do you got on that, TD? Should they entertain trading Micah Parsons to save them financially years down the road?
They'd be insane. He's your guy. You selected high in the draft. He's been a model citizen, a great player. You've made some room. You extended your defensive tackle, which a lot of people don't realize saves the money in the immediate, better than franchise tagging. The hard hit. Then you got CD out here restructuring to keep things together. Dallas needs to keep their team as intact as possible and hope that the new coach can bring change. Just like the Jets situation. Maybe it was the coach. This was also one of the most loaded rosters that should have done way better, with or without Dak. With or without Dak. So Dak will be back healthy. Parsons ain't going nowhere. They're going to figure that out. And Dallas continue down the road as usual. Business as usual. But yeah, the Cowboys, they're one of those slept on teams because Dak got hurt. Nobody really talking about them. Usually America's team, excited about them every week, competitive. But last year was such a dumpster fire that, nobody even thinks about Dallas. But they are still one of the better teams in the NFC. They lost their quarterback. The coaching wasn't up to par. They could have a massive resurgence this year. People need to look out and be careful when it comes to Dallas. And Parsons will be on the field in a star.
People need to look out for the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC
what a bar,
East. Who knows? Maybe the NFC East is going to be one of the most competitive next year. What happened? Why are we at full screen right now, folks? Are the producers playing jokes on me? You just wanted
experimenting a solo scene, you're talking and then it's just Dan talking.
Experimenting. It's running experiments. I think that I can appreciate that. All right, boys. Last topic. All right. Jonah Jackson, interior offensive lineman for the LA Rams, was just traded over to the Chicago Bears earlier this morning. I think that there's no doubt that if you were to poll everybody, the Bears need to invest exclusively on the offensive line to protect Caleb Williams now that Ben Johnson is taking over. But this trade really doesn't make a lot of sense to me, right? Because Jonah Jackson was extended by the LA Rams in 2024. Due to poor play and some lingering injuries here or there, he was benched for a rookie in Bo Limmer. And now the Chicago Bears ended up trading for him. They're taking on his exclusive $17.5 million salary in 2025. Yes, he has a little bit of experience with Ben Johnson during his time over with the Detroit Lions, but it really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It just continues to show me, and I feel like the rest of the NFL world, that the Chicago Bears are just an unserious NFL organization. They have a lot of money, or they have some money, but I didn't like this move, especially based off of a player that was benched for a rookie. Maybe a couple of lingering injuries here and there, but nothing too significant. Let's not make it more than it is. He was benched. He would have been out there playing a hell of a lot more, of course, if, for example, he did not get beat out by Bo Limmer. Thoughts on this, Richie, with Jonah Jackson going over to the Chicago Bears?
Jonah Jackson, first big shout out to JT, great member now of Roundtable Sports.
JT, thank you for joining. Appreciate
great Jets
it.
fan. Appreciate you, JT, as always. Listen, I think this is a good move. I think the Chicago Bears need offensive line help. This is a guy that's going to come in here and be a veteran in that team. And you look at what Chicago should be doing in the draft. It's definitely go offensive line in the first round. They have all the weapons. They don't have anybody in the trenches. And I feel like this is a low risk, high reward, a 2025 6th-round pick for a vet offensive lineman like Jonah Jackson, coming from a team like the Los Angeles Rams, who knows how to play ball the right way. I think this is a low risk, high reward type of move. I don't see anything wrong with this. So, listen, Chicago's got to make sure, because if you're Ben Johnson and you're coming from Detroit, they really were the epitome of building through the trenches. Their offensive line was a big reason why that offense was successful. And Ben Johnson's going to have to go over there and prioritize that offensive line. There's no more Penei Sewell on your offensive line. So good luck trying to find that guy on that up front. And Jonah Jackson's no Sewell as well, or anybody at that magnitude. So it's just adding depth and contending for a starting role. Nothing too
But at
deeper than that.
$17.5 million this year, Richie?
Listen, man, you never know. I think he's going to be a starter. He's going to be a starter, but you never know.
Yeah.
They're going to bring in competition, as always.
Yeah. All right, TD, what do you got on this one?
Shout out to the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams has to be a happy man. You addressed that O-line, and all you had to do was give up a 2025 sixth-round pick. Obviously, you got to pay, but they got some money. The Rams, didn't they re-sign a lot of linemen this week? I mean, last week they brought back a few linemen, if I'm not mistaken. But it looks like Jonah Jackson is the odd guy out. But hey, Chicago gets a nice piece that could help them with Caleb Williams. I like it overall for both teams. Obviously, the Rams are in a little shift, trying to save some money now. But here you have it. Chicago doing what they need to do to stay competitive in the division. Lions at the top of the mountain. I don't see them doing as well first year being removed from both coordinators like Philly did. But you also got Minnesota on the rise, who some say overachieved, or their upside is still massive. And then Green Bay hovering with success as well. So Chicago got to get their act together and figure it out. But I like this. Address what you can now via trade, so that when you go in free agency, it makes the picture clearer. And when you go in the draft, it is the easiest day for you. You know what you're trying to target, and you're not missing out. This is for the teams that don't want to miss out. Make your trades now. Go out there and say, hey, who's worth paying that and the team can't really afford them? Let's offer something and see if we can purge them, because we're in a better situation. And the Bears are. I love the move.
The Bears, absolutely love the move from the Chicago side of things. I really hope that Chicago makes some quality decisions in the NFL draft. I really hope that they do whatever they can to build around Caleb Williams. I am one of the few that have given up on the prospect. I still think that he is a baller. And hopefully now that Ben Johnson is at the helm, that he will build around that young man.
You're selling your stock on Caleb Williams? Did I hear that right?
No, I am not selling my stock on Caleb Williams.
Cool.
I am still holding on to hope for the young prospect. We shall see. We shall see. Folks, that's going to have to do it for another episode of Fourth and Forever, brought to you by Roundtable Sports. First off, we would like to thank all of our members that ended up joining today. We have Joshua Richardson, we have LaSalle, we have NY Jets Indy, Mike D's Nuts, and JT, who just ended up becoming members of this channel today. Folks, this week and this week only, we are opening up the chat to everybody. Next week, it is going to be a members-only chat. It's only 99 cents per month. It helps us really scale this company and give you even more entertaining content. This is an NFL daily news show that is running Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. EST. And we really want to build this community as much as humanly possible. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, highly recommend you smash that like button for us. It goes a million miles into what we're trying to achieve here. And for those of you that are watching on X, just do us a favor and retweet and like this stream as well. Richie, what would you like to say to the audience before we let them go?
Appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Let's get to 100 likes, folks, by simply smashing the like button. It does help us out a ton to propel this all the way to the YouTube algorithm. Follow us on socials, and we're really excited to keep growing this brand new show on Roundtable, and you guys watching it make it all so much fun in the chat. So we appreciate it, guys. Consider becoming a member so we could participate in the chat moving forward. We love you guys, and let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. NFL offseason is here.
And indeed, the membership program is indeed the price of an Arizona iced tea. All right, folks? An Arizona iced tea. Tony, final words right before we let them go.
Man, it feels like the show went by so fast today, man. Maybe another hour. Let's go.
A lot of breaking news, man.
Yeah, man.
There's some topics we didn't even get to.
We'll save it for tomorrow.
Cool.
All right. But listen, man, great show today. Listen, things are about to pop off in this league. Absolutely. And if you're not winning at this time of year, every team, then you're falling behind. And you look at some of the moves that are being made, some of the guys that are being locked down, some of the guys that are being traded. Teams are positioning themselves to have a successful offseason. And we're going to cover it all right here on Fourth and Forever. Thank y'all for tuning in. We love you all. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
Folks, we appreciate you. I can't believe you stole my line. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Deuces.
Peace.